चलिए, नमस्कार दोस्तों। मैं हूं प्रसन्नजीत विश्वास और आप सबका स्वागत है आज के सेशन में इंट्राडे इनसाइट्स ऑन निफ्टी 50। तो देखिए, आज जो है मतलब मैं कहूंगा कि आज का जो डेटा है एक्चुअली काफी इंटरेस्टिंग भी है, खासकर आज क्योंकि एक्सपायरी है। सो थिंग्स आर लुकिंग लाइक थोड़ा सा डायनामिक और वी हैव टू बी स्लाइटली मोर ऑब्जर्वेंट। अभी ऑप्शन का डेटा मैं कुछ ही देर पहले से मैं देख रहा था। इट हैज बीन वेरी डायनामिक इन इन माय ओपिनियन। चार्ट के जो स्ट्रक्चर्स हैं वो भी थोड़े से जो है कुछ इंटरेस्टिंग जगह पे खड़े हैं। विल लुक एट देम वन बाय वन। बट आज जो है हम इंट्राडे के ऊपर थोड़ा सा ज्यादा जोर देंगे। नॉर्मली जैसे हम बीटीएसटी के पर्सपेक्टिव से या इंट्राडे प्लस बीटीएसटी के हिसाब से ही कहते हैं, बट आज जो है मेरे को लगता है कि इंट्राडे के लेवल्स अभी जहां पे हम करंटली ट्रेड हो रहे हैं काफी क्रिटिकल जगह पे है। चलिए देखिए, सबसे पहले ऑप्शन का डेटा आप अगर थोड़ा सा देखेंगे, सो ऑन द कॉल साइड द टोटल ओपन इंटरेस्ट एडिशन हैज बीन टू द ट्यून ऑफ 26.7 लाख, करीब 26,70,000 के करीब का कॉल साइड में ओपन इंटरेस्ट एडिशन है। एंड ऑल दिस एडिशन इज बेसिकली कॉल राइटिंग। ऑन द पुट साइड वी कैन सी जस्ट अबाउट 18 लाख ओपन इंटरेस्ट एडिशन, 18 लाख के करीब का ओपन इंटरेस्ट एडिशन है। इसमें पुट साइड की जो एक्टिविटी है इसमें देखिए ये मिक्स्ड है। यहाँ पे कुछ शॉर्ट बिल्डअप भी है, साथ ही कुछ स्पेक्युलेटिव लॉन्ग बिल्डअप भी है और कुछ शॉर्ट अनवाइंडिंग भी है। सो ऑन द पुट साइड द एक्टिविटी सीम्स टू बी अ मिक्स्ड बैग ऑफ शॉर्ट अनवाइंडिंग followed by long build up on the put side, and then you also have put writing. So it's kind of a mixture of three types of activities predominantly. But for the day, in my opinion, what is important rather is this number on the call side. So it is clearly showing that there is a reasonable amount of call writing happening. The main thick of the activity seems to be between 24,050 odd levels up to 24,300. This is where the main activity is happening. On the call side, put side 24,100 till about, I would say, 23,900. So this is where the meaningful activity is happening. Concentration 24,100, call side 24,000 on the put side. So net the overall option data is not positive, at least मतलब this much I can say कि यहाँ पे जो है ऑप्शन का डेटा थोड़ा सा हमको कहना पड़ेगा कि आज नेगेटिवली बायस्ड है। अभी इतने दिन से जो है मतलब ऑप्शन के डेटा में उतना उतना स्ट्रांग कोई नेगेटिविटी अराइज नहीं हो रहा था। जो ट्रेंड के साथ था उसके साथ ही मार्केट चला था। सो लेट्स गेट बैक टू द चार्ट्स and let's see what is happening on the Nifty right now. Okay, so here 2-3 things we must first of all highlight. So first of all, this is a 15-minute chart. ये 15 मिनट का ही चार्ट मैं आपके सामने मैंने लगा के रखा है क्योंकि हम स्पेसिफिकली जो है आज इमीडिएट एक्टिविटी पे फोकस कर रहे हैं, इंट्राडे एक्टिविटी पे फोकस कर रहे हैं। So needless to say, again repeating the broader structure, EOD trend will remain in the positive direction unless and until we find prices breaching below 23,000. That is given. So this point I am not repeating much. Now the interesting thing is that the hourly structure that seems to be kind of a bit of in some kind of a confusion. Now hourly trend is up. Basically जो last हमारा swing low था, so typing mistake. So the last swing low. So on hourly scale, the last swing low is at 24,000. So this is where we are working with. ये 24,000 का नंबर जो है ये मैंने कल भी इसके बारे में बात की थी। तो अभी भी हमारा hourly चार्ट के हिसाब से जो लास्ट स्विंग लो अगर कोई है तो ये 24,000 का लेवल है, दिस गिवन। सो जब तक देखिए आवरली चार्ट के हिसाब से 24,000 का लेवल डिफेंडेड है, टिल द पॉइंट दैट 24,000 इज डिफेंडेड, one can more or less assume that the trend is still relatively safe. But again, the point is whether 24,000 will eventually be respected or not, that is the whole question. Because today is expiry, so the markets are expected to be slightly more volatile as compared to the previous ones. तो थोड़ा सा आज जो है मेरे को ऐसा लग रहा है कि शायद मार्केट एक आज वॉलेटिलिटी बढ़ सकती है। अब देखिए इसमें जो ऑप्शन का डेटा है ये हमारे लिए इंपॉर्टेंट होगा। सो टुडेस ऑप्शन डेटा व्हिच सेज दैट द डोमिनेंट एक्टिविटी इज कॉल राइटिंग, दिस इज गोइंग टू बी क्रिटिकल Mid caps index again, 63,000 was the breakout level, which was we were very close to that, and somehow the breakout has yet not happened. So, which means the upside resistance at 63,000 on the mid cap index is still holding up, and unless and until it is broken, the condition remains as it is. सपोर्ट की अगर हम बात करें तो देखिए यहाँ पे ये थोड़ा सा इंपॉर्टेंट है. दिस इज वेयर आई वुड वांट योर अटेंशन. नाउ इफ वी फोकस on the 15-minute price action, so what are the things we can see? So this particular trend line that I have drawn yesterday is a support trend line based on the previous small zigzag formations that we have been seeing in the 15-minute scale. So the first low was something around 23,840 odd levels. That was followed by a low at around 23,925. Then we had this 24,000 level, which happened yesterday. And now today, if we are able to we are able to freeze upon this particular trend line, which is marked in orange. I'm going to make it bold. So this particular trend line seems to have been violated already. Now we wanted to see this on a closing chart, लाइन चार्ट के हिसाब से. देखिए यहाँ पे ये लाइन चार्ट के हिसाब से ये वायलेशन है. अभी थोड़ा सा आपको बाउंस दिख रहा होगा, बट ओवरऑल इन टर्म्स ऑफ द ट्रेंड लाइन, this line is violated. Now this happened at around 24,070 odd levels, 24,070 approximately, the orange color trend line. And there is again one more thing, that this entire activity near this particular trend line is again bounded by a ranging activity. So on the lower side, as we can see, this lower side range where multiple times supports are being taken, this is something at around 24,050. So the levels of 24,070 and 24,050, they are very close by. Although the trend line has been technically violated, but again it has kind of respected the range, the immediate range that markets are in. So the immediate range, if you talk about this range, the higher side is at about 24,150 and the lower side is at 24,050, approximate numbers, right? So let this be marked in blue so that there is no confusion. So I'm marking the immediate range in blue color. So obviously, therefore, the lower end of the this range is again going to act as a support. Apart from that, 24,000, the previous swing low, that is the next support, obviously. So these three numbers are very close by. But in my opinion, there is only one particular trigger point that will be enough for the market to declare a sell-off kind of or a support give up. And probably the opportunity for that trade remains in preempting or kind of based on the probability, if we can predict which way the breakout or the breakdown will happen. So पैसा तो देखिए, जो खासकर ऑप्शन में अगर आपने थोड़ा सा प्रीएम्प्ट करके ये ले लिया कि भाई ये इतने सारे सपोर्ट हैं, क्या ये होल्ड करेगा या कौन सा वाला होल्ड करेगा या कौन सा टूटने के बाद हम समझ सकते हैं कि जो टूटना था टूट गया, and it is a signal for an actionable this thing. So in my opinion, given the option data, सपोर्ट लेवल्स 24,050 24,070 का ही ये जो नंबर है, ये काफी इंपॉर्टेंट है. अच्छा, इसके बाद द नेक्स्ट नंबर ऑन द लोअर साइड इज दिस पर्टिकुलर लेवल which is at around 23,800. So this number we are already aware that there has been a multiple support base at around these numbers. If we just look at the previous one, so we are, I think, pretty much familiar with this 23,780 multi support low. So these are my support numbers on the lower side. On the higher side, the immediate resistance is, as I mentioned, 24,150. This is where probably if markets are able to cross, then that could again indicate a possible gain in momentum. Then the next resistances on the higher side, which are which were on an immediate basis, the 24,250 levels, जो 24,250 का लेवल, जो बार बार यहाँ पे एक इमीडिएट बेसिस पे जो है ना सप्लाई का काम कर रहा था. सो ये भी शायद टूट जाएगा इफ वी आर एबल टू ब्रीच 24,150. तो उसके बाद ऊपर में 24,350 का लेवल है, दिस पर्टिकुलर नंबर. सो दीज आर द इम्पोर्टेंट नंबर्स. ये बेसिकली ऊपर का जो लेवल है, दिस 24,350 number is again kind of a gap resistance, gap supply cloud. This one at 24,250. This is a multi-top on the recent on an immediate basis, which has been respected by the market, or probably where the supply is coming, and this immediately followed by 24,150. So net the conclusion is very straightforward. Market अभी 24,050, 24,150 यही हमारा immediate range है. So market is immediate on an immediate basis stuck between a range between 24,150 and 24,050 on the lower side. ऑप्शन का डेटा नेगेटिव है. That is what is an indication, important rather indication in my opinion. Unless and until it turns neutral or turns otherwise, bias आज नीचे का ही रहेगा. So unless these numbers on the option front change, the bias for the day appears to be negative in my opinion. Now the whole point, whether 24,000 will be broken, 24,000 will be broken once the probability rises if 24,050 is broken. So that is the whole challenge. Right now we are trading at around 24,080, 24,100 kind of zone, right? So if you ask me what are the probabilities, I would say that if at all any trade setup happens, there are two ways that can be done. So first of all, the safer strategy is either for intraday, wait for a range breakout at the rate 24,150 and 24,050. So either we wait for this range breakout, then initiate a trade in the direction of the breakout or the breakdown, right? Probably that can give us a bit of comfort, a slight sense of more confirmation. But if we are trying to trade options, then we know that the opportunity is also get skewed. I mean, the risk reward ratios get skewed. So the second strategy, if somebody is a risk taker, so the second strategy could be initiate shorts with SL 24,150. So we can initiate shorts at just about current levels, assuming that this range will be broken. Ultimately, there will be a short signal this way, and markets on an immediate basis, if not anything, then 24,000 levels could be broken or may not be broken. At least there is a high probability that it could be retested. So if you are trading at 24,080 currently, then probably there is a easy buffer of 80 points, right? That we can expect. Now the chances are that if 24,050, 24,040 levels are broken, then probably the trade might be missed out completely, because markets can immediately drop down to 24,000 or below that. So इसके लिए अगर मेरे को ऐसा लगता है कि अगर आपको शॉर्ट इनिशिएट करना है, तो या तो आप कुछ मत करिए, और अगर शॉर्ट इनिशिएट करना है तो यहीं पे इनिशिएट करना चाहिए. सो इफ एट ऑल आई वांट शॉर्ट, then 24,150 should be my stop loss, and kind of initiate the short at current levels. Or the other possibility is that if I do not want to participate on the short side, then rather wait for a breakout above 24,000. So the third strategy is wait for a breakout above 24,150, 150. On the buy side. So this is on the buy side, right? So these are the three things possible. Probably one more thing I missed out on the hourly chart. Hourly chart में एक बार एक चीज हम देख लेते हैं कि RSI का जो हम एक क्रॉसओवर देखते हैं मोमेंटम को समझने के लिए ना, ये देखिए, ये आपके सामने में hourly chart है. So the hourly picture in terms of the momentum, this thing crossover, the 510 RSI crossover that I've been showing you, has kind of given a negative signal today in the morning after जो गैप डाउन हुआ. तो गैप डाउन के साथ ही जो है हमको आज एक RSI में ऑलरेडी जो आवरली चार्ट में जो एक अप ट्रेंड चल रहा था उसमें हमको एक नेगेटिव क्रॉसओवर यहाँ पे देखने को मिल रहा है। सो इसी वजह से थोड़ा सा जो प्रोबेबिलिटी है, देखिए आफ्टर ऑल इट इज मार्केट, तो हमको मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि ऊपर मार्केट नहीं जा सकता, मार्केट कहीं पे भी एक्सपायर हो सकता है। बट जो प्रोबेबिलिटी देख के मेरे को अभी फिलहाल लग रही है वो यही है कि मार्केट में थोड़ा सा झुकाव शॉर्ट डायरेक्शन में ही है। खासकर ऑप्शन का डेटा उसको थोड़ा सा क्लोजली मॉनिटर कीजिए। अगर उसमें जैसे ही अगर कोई चेंज अगर पॉजिटिव या नेगेटिव फर्दर नेगेटिव अगर हो जाता है तो वो आपको अच्छा क्लू मिल जाएगा। क्योंकि अभी भी ब्रॉडली ये बात तो है कि मार्केट इज काइंड ऑफ स्टक इन अ रेंज। ये वाला जो रेंज है इसको हम डिनाई नहीं कर सकते हैं, बिल्कुल ये सॉलिड रेंज है। ये अभी भी पर्टिकुलर ये जो 24,150 2450 का रेंज है, ये इसको मार्केट ने होल्ड करके रखा हुआ है। सो ओनली थिंग इज विच वे इट विल ब्रेकआउट। तो हमारा वही है कि नीचे की तरफ शायद ब्रेकआउट अगर आ जाए, खासकर ऑप्शन में तो आपको पता ही है कि नीचे के डायरेक्शन की मूव काफी फास्ट होते हैं, तो उसमें वो एक गेन मिलता है। तो आप चाहे तो लो रिस्क मतलब कम पोजीशन साइज में छोटी क्वांटिटी में ओटीएम ऑप्शन जो है मतलब आप खरीद के रख सकते हैं। इट्स लाइक अ हीरो और जीरो टाइप ऑफ ट्रेड इफ यू वांट। बिकॉज अगर चल गया तो बाजार यहाँ से 100 पॉइंट गिरा तो वो ऑप्शन शायद डबल या ट्रिपल होना कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है, राइट। So with this, I'll conclude my sessions. And if you have anything to ask, let me just check. Okay. So Ravi ji is saying that after this channel, I don't get live stream. I keep uh, uh, waiting. Maybe okay, but I sir come only once a day. Uh, Okay, so anyway, भरत जी कह रहे हैं कि गुड आफ्टरनून सर, you told me to remind me about parameters used for momentum. Yes. Thank you so much. So I'll just take 1 minute quickly. So the momentum parameters that I have been using, kind of this one, it's a very simple setting. I have been using two RSI periods. So first period is the 5 period, this thing 5 period RSI, and the other one is a 10 period RSI. So if we look at the crossovers of these RSI, so that kind of gives us a direction, a sense about the direction of the trend and the strength of the trend as well. So for 5 period RSI, these are the settings as you can see, right? So this one, and for 10 period RSI, simple, this one. These are the two RSIs that have been superimposed on one another. So how you can superimpose is this, like this. So visual, okay. So this will be move, pane above, pane below, existing pane above. So you get this option move to. So if you plot the two RSIs, they will be one above another, and if you want them to be plotted together, they need to be plotted in the same pane. The other thing that probably in the settings that you need to change is this one, that the upper limit and lower limit, set them to 100 and 0. So I'm talking about these levels, right? So this is important because otherwise the scaling will not match. You will not be able to see the RSI. So for both the RSI periods, I have uh, kept the settings at 100 and 0 upper bound, because here the upper bound is not important. We are not actually looking at the actual RSI numbers, right? So therefore, setting up any cutoff band on the higher side and lower side, it is not required. Correct. So this is it from my side. If you have any still anything to ask, एक बार मैं देख लेता हूँ. Can we expect short covering later part of the day? देखिए शॉर्ट कवरिंग में तो वही है कि मतलब यहाँ से अगर ये 24,050 का लेवल खासकर अगर टूटता है, तो मेरे को नहीं लगता कि उसके बाद में फिर शॉर्ट कवरिंग आएगा। चांसेस ये है कि 24,050 के नीचे शायद लॉन्ग वन अनवाइंडिंग रादर आ सकता है, मतलब नीचे की तरफ सेल ऑफ आने के चांसेस ज्यादा हैं, मतलब ये पर्टिकुलर जो लेवल है इसके नीचे। शॉर्ट कवरिंग तो देखिए ये ऊपर में जब तक 24,150 का लेवल क्रॉस नहीं करेगा तब तक मेरे को इसके होने के चांसेस थोड़े से कम ही लग रहे हैं ऑन द हायर साइड। मतलब सो फॉर एनी पॉजिटिव प्राइस एक्टिविटी टू इमर्ज, आई थिंक it is important that this level of 24,150 has to break. Then only we can expect a move toward maybe 24,250, 24,300. So this is it. For momentum trading, I do not use or look at any particular candle, single candle formations like the Japanese ones. Rather, I look at the trend lines and the chart patterns. I love to kind of look at the holistic picture rather than giving, one single candle giving me any kind of a signal. So, in my experience, single candle or the Japanese technique, since it's very localized, it looks at the immediate candle without the context of what is happening across the other time frames and the other other time frame structural setups. So therefore I feel comfortable and find it more logical to use rather chart patterns and trend lines and look at what ultimately at the end of the day we have to figure out what the buyer and the sellers are thinking. Now when I say buyers and sellers, they are not one single person, they are like across multiple time scales. So somebody could be an intraday buyer, somebody could be an intraday seller, right? Somebody could be a long term buyer interacting with a intraday seller, right? So there are multiple players on the buy side, sell side. Then you have the time scale, three time scale, intraday, short term, long term, right? And again the third category would be, a lot of people who are in the system who are holding any positions, and then there are people who are out of the system. So if you look at, there are actually 12 types of people who are potentially interacting with each other. So the game is very complex, and therefore we have to understand what each of these 12 players are possibly thinking, and then we will be in a much better position to understand. Like when I say somebody who is out of the system, now this guy could be short. Like for example, us, we probably are looking to short, but not yet holding any short positions, let's say. So we are looking to short below 24,050, right? So, and that too on an intraday basis. So what is the category? We are somebody who is a, on the short side, an intraday player, and who is out of the system. So so my mindset. Basically, 24,050, and then a lot of money is expected to again come on the sell side. So that is how it is. So if you understand the dynamics of each and every person, then we are in a better position to analyze what could be the impact. Uh, what about the DIIs today? Bullish to. Sir, I have no idea about what the institutions are doing. I mean, we don't, I mean, nobody gets that data, what trades are going on. So that is only at the end of the day you get from the NSE, right? So, well, I think this is it for the day, and I wish you all the luck for the day. Please keep the numbers in mind, and if we are trading based on the numbers, so this range probably will be very critical in my opinion. 24,050, 24,150 for the day. And if markets are um, once these numbers are breached on either side, then we can have a directional move which can extend for the next 1 or 2 days as well. But unless that happens, so it is also very likely that market could end up expiring at around current levels between say 24,050 and 24,150. So somewhere around 24,100 ये भी पॉसिबल है कि मार्केट इसी रेंज के अंदर ही फ्लैट यहीं पे एक्सपायर हो जाए, तो इसके लिए ये रेंज ब्रेकआउट जरूरी है. सो इसी के साथ आज्ञा दीजिए आज के लिए. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर ज्वाइनिंग इन, एंड आई विल सी यू अगेन tomorrow same time, and have a wonderful day. Bye bye.
Investments in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.